What's up, guys? So today's video is just sort of an overview of San Diego Comic-Con. I am going to go a little bit deeper into some of the things because there is a lot to unpack from this last weekend. So let's just jump straight into this. Alright, so I'm going to be going in as close to the day order as possible, but it's gonna be all over the place, simply because of when certain panels were held. So we'll start off with there was no official DCEU panel at Comic-Con this year. We do know that the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie is going to be in September sometime of next year, I believe. I know we've got Joker coming out this October, we've got Wonder Woman 1984 in December, and then the Birds of Prey movie more likely in September of next year. But other than that, there was no major content, like there wasn't enough content for Warner Brothers and the DCEU to actually have a panel this year. That being said, we're likely to see Suicide Squad 2 sometime in 2021, I believe, is the current sort of release date for that. Moving on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 is going to be the last season. The panel there sort of spoke about what some of the plot points would be, and then sort of a sort of farewell, I think it was, to the cast. Potentially they'll be back next year for like a proper farewell, but other than that, Season 7 is going to be the last for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There was the video game, the Avengers video game. We're going to get some footage for that after Gamescom, although there has been some leaked gameplay footage of Thor running around wielding Mjolnir and smacking some guys in the head. So there is that leaked footage as well, but we will get official gameplay footage for the Avengers video game after Gamescom later this year. The trailer for Dark Crystal Age of Resistance was dropped at Comic-Con as well. I have watched it about 3 or 4 times. I showed my mum because she's a mad Jim Henson fan. She was completely surprised that they were doing something with the Dark Crystal. To begin with, she thought it was a film until I told her that it's going to be a TV series set before, I believe it's before the actual Dark Crystal itself, and that Jim Henson's kids are involved, considering that they're the chairman and the CEO of the Jim Henson Company. The Season 4 trailer for Preacher dropped as well. That's also going to be their last season. Preacher is one of the shows that I've got on my list on, I believe it's Stan, but just in and amongst everything else that I'm trying to catch up on, haven't quite yet gotten to, because I will actually have to start watching that from Season 1. So the fact that I now know that there's only going to be 4 seasons means that I know roughly how long it's going to take me to get through that once that season drops. There was no new information for, I believe, Season 2 of Legacies, although it was revealed that they were starting filming for that on Monday. So they've already begun production for Season 2. In some of the bigger news from I believe this was the Saturday, I can't remember, maybe the Friday. The trailer for season 4 of, or sort of, not really the trailer, but sort of an excerpt from season 4 of Rick and Morty dropped. Considering that no one really knew what was going on with it at the end of after the end of season 3, it's great to know that there is a 4th season coming. 100 years Rick and Morty. That's what we're going for. The trailer for The Witcher dropped. I had reservations about this, considering that there has been so much controversy around the casting for this, but having actually seen it, I was sort of holding off making a formal opinion about this till I saw some actual footage. And having seen the trailer for The Witcher, I'm willing to give it a go, but still sort of holding the reservations of what I will and won't like. I feel like this has the potential to be really great, like the games and the books, but it also could let the entire franchise down at the same time. So still sort of on the fence about The Witcher, but it looked really cool, so willing to give that a go. The trailer for It Chapter 2, or a trailer for It Chapter 2 dropped as well as I believe it's a new HBO series, His Dark Materials, which is based on the His Dark Materials books, which, if you are unfamiliar with what His Dark Materials is, basically that Daniel Craig movie, The Golden Compass, is based on one of His Dark Materials books. So we're going to be getting that with HBO's production and the way they produce things with the really good budgets for those sorts of things. Speaking of HBO, it's kind of surprising that we didn't get any new information on Watchmen. So I will be looking out for that in the next couple of months. We then had some stuff revealed for DC Universe, which is not currently available in Australia, and I really want to watch Young Justice Outsiders. As soon as I heard that Young Justice was getting a 3rd season, I was super keen, and then they made it like a DC Universe exclusive thing, and it's not available in Australia, so none of this news here is really going to apply to me. But season 2 of Titans will be up on September 6th, as well as the I don't know if it was a trailer or what, but it revealed the Titans versions of Wonder Girl, Bruce Wayne, and Deathstroke. So we have those fun things to look forward to. Doom Patrol season 2 will be in 2020, and that is being made in conjunction with HBO Max, so it will be going up on both HBO Max and DC Universe. So there'll be a couple of ways for you guys to watch that as well. And then the Harley Quinn animated show, where she's being voiced by Kaylee Cuoco, who plays Penny in Big Bang Theory, as well as voice actor extraordinaire Alan Tudyk voicing the Joker and Clayface. So that animated series looks to be really good. It also promised to have the same sort of humor and wit as the Deadpool movies, so that's going to be really cool to look forward to. As far as the Arrowverse panels were concerned, the Arrow panel, like the panel for the show Arrow, was really more of a farewell to that, because it's finished its run. Brandon Ruth, who plays the Atom in the Arrowverse, came out and sort of revealed that he's going to be maybe reprising his role as Superman, which confused me, considering that he was obviously there. There was no Legends of Tomorrow panel, but he was still there. Came out and sort of told everyone he was going to be reprising his Superman role from Superman Returns. But there's already a Superman in the Arrowverse, played by Tyler Hoechlin, so I don't know what's going on there. Lots of question marks around that one. As far as the Flash goes, we got a look at the fact that this next season is going to have 2 main bad guys. So the first half of the season is going to have one, then after that it's going to have another. In the way that sort of comic books do that, they'll have one continuous story arc told in sort of 2 parts with different bad guys as the finales for the 2 parts. So we got a look at Bloodwork, as well as Tom Cavanagh is going to be playing a version of another character. He's going to be playing a total of 3 characters, I believe, in this next season, with the 3rd one being Pariah, who is a character that has ties to the Anti-Monitor, which could mean that the Anti-Monitor is going to be the big bad at the end of the season, which potentially means Manhunters coming in the season that comes after this, which would be cool for Supergirl coming in and doing the crossover bit, because she works with Martian Manhunter. And yeah, I don't know. That's all to be revealed, and it's going to be an absolute blast getting those reveals as they come. As far as Supergirl goes, there was no real big reveals as to who the main villain of the next season is going to be, but it is going to be sort of more focused on the dangers of technology. I do know that there's going to be sort of a female version of the Brainiac species coming in. Whether or not it's going to be a female Brainiac is the big bad and she controls technology, I don't know. I just know that the new season's going to focus on the dangers of technology. The trailer for Batwoman dropped, and as I said before, there was no Legends of Tomorrow panel, so we have no idea what's going on with that show, despite it currently being the Arrowverse's strongest show. And then that brings us to probably the thing that most people were looking forward to at this Comic-Con this year, and that is the Phase 4 reveal. Now, I'm just going to sort of brush over this real quickly, because I want to sort of go in depth with each of these things. And they'll be in separate videos probably next month. We'll just be unpacking all this Marvel Studios stuff. But we got release dates for Black Widow, which will be May 1st of next year. So we got 10 months until that happens. But that just means that we have time to go and rewatch all the other films before that comes out. By May 1st, 2020, even Far From Home should have a DVD release, which means that potentially before Black Widow, I will be unboxing my Phase 3 box set. Would be really cool. We are getting, we've got a release date for the Eternals, which is November 6th, 2020. Then after that, in fall of 2020, which will be between September and November. And the reason I'm pointing at those months is because here in Australia, that's spring, but announcing that it's going to be in the fall means that it's going to be the fall Northern Hemisphere, which is our spring. So I will be putting months in so that anyone watching from the Southern Hemisphere doesn't have to do the maths in their head. So sometime between September and November of 2020, which, considering that Eternals is going to be in November and Black Widow is in May, more likely to be sort of end of August, beginning of September sort of area. So that it's sort of equally spaced out from those 2 movies, because they're not going to release Eternals on November 6th and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier on November 7th, because then they've sort of made you have to choose which one you prefer to go and see, because you will have to pay for Disney+. The next film after Eternals will be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which will be February 12th, 2021. sometime between March and May in the spring of 2021 will be WandaVision. Loki will also be released sometime between March and May of that year. And then May 7th, 2021 will be Doctor Strange in the Madness of the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. The What If series will be released in the summer, so sometime between June and August of 2021. It is an animated show, and so far the first episode is what if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum instead of Steve. So that should be pretty cool to see. The Hawkeye series will come in the fall of 2021, so sometime between, again, September and November of that year. And then the last revealed release date that we got was for Thor 4, which is subtitled Love and Thunder, which will be released November 5 of 2021, and features the return of Jane Foster, now as she'll be getting the powers of Thor in this film like she does in the comics. Kevin Feige also said that they do still have plans for Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a Blade movie, potentially sometime in 2023. They have plans for the Fantastic Four, which is more likely to come first as far as the Fox properties go. And then they do have plans for something involving the mutants, so potentially an X-Men reboot within the MCU as well. There was nothing spoken about Spider-Man 3, because they have to work with Sony on that, so they can't go, oh yeah, we're releasing that on this date, because they do have to work with Sony on Spider-Man at the moment. But considering that there are reports that there is potentially going to be a live-action Spider-Verse, so to speak, with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all reprising their roles as Peter Parker from different realities, that may potentially come after Doctor Strange in 2021, when the multiverse is officially revealed in the MCU. So that could be sometime in 2022 or 2023 or after, but will most likely be a Phase 5 film, considering we got 2 Spider-Man films in Phase 3. And yeah, like I said, I will be digging deeper into all of those things in their own individual videos, so if you want to see those, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are alerted when I upload a new video. You can follow my social medias in the description down below. And yeah, until next time guys, night to A2, and I'll check you all later.